Callie Francois here with Keith Fusel. Keith, we're here on a Thursday.
I'm telling you, had to get everything straightened out this morning. I woke up and said, okay, let me just make sure we are racing today. And you know what? The sun is out. This is a thing I haven't seen in quite some time here in Maryland. Unfortunately, we've had a lot of rain, the remnants of Ian. Hope everybody in Florida is doing okay. It's a brutal situation down there. I know in some parts, but had some friends affected. But we're back here racing off the turf this afternoon, unfortunately, today and tomorrow.
Yes.
So we had to scramble a little bit with some of these scratches today. So bear with us as we go through the racing card. But looking forward to it. Yeah, back to Thursday racing. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday this week. A 4-day week schedule now.
4-day week schedule all throughout October, November, and December, the rest of 2022 for the most part. Let's take and again, just thoughts out to everybody who's been affected by Hurricane Ian. We suffered a lot of rain, but let's take a look outside right now. As you can see, the sun's out, and that track it's starting to look pretty good. It's looking. It looks, Keith. It looks a lot better than it did this morning. There was water everywhere on the top of that surface, and the track crew did a great job to kind of ground this out a little bit. Again, we are off the turf, but as you said, scrambling can be a little fun today. So let's make scrambling fun, and let's go ahead and see if we can take a look at this maiden special weight taken off of the turf. Now 5.5 here on the dirt for the girls. We both land on Pharaoh's Baby Gal with Brittany Russell, husband Sheldon Russell, in the irons today.
Yeah, top selection in here. I was looking at Dale's horse, the first to scratch. Maybe they just really want turf for Gold Star. But Pharaoh's Baby Gal took plenty of play, 2-1 in debut, as all these horses for Russell. They take plenty of play, except for Timonium, which you can't quite still grasp that one. But I thought ran credible in debut. Lady Serenity called a track on the 11th. Speed was good, and Lady Serenity, the winner, just called a track she loved and just kept on going. Pharaoh's Baby Gal ran hard all the way around the racetrack. I think that experience is going to help her. I think the 11 is going to benefit as well. Also made some late progress in that race. A family, it's a bunch of winnerly family, a versatile family. They can handle surface, can stretch out. I'm around the 9, the 11 in the opener. The 15, Synergy's Electra, is a half to Synergy Star, who is a horse that's flashed some talent around here for the same connections. Really kind of buried an allowance group a couple races back with a 77. I think broke its maiden second start. Might have been that dirt debut.
I believe it was second start.
So this horse could kind of be any kind as well. But, I'll go with the experience factor here with Pharaoh's Baby Gal, this filly by American Pharaoh, maybe to break the maiden today.
Well, it helps that Synergy Star actually broke his maiden on a muddy surface as well. So just all the benefit to that. You have an outside post, Kevin Gomez. I like it. I just left off of my ticket, but right underneath there. But race number 2 starts the early pick for Keith Fusel with all these scratches.
Yeah.
Scrounged up a ticket for still a $12 ticket. Hey, there you go.
Yeah, El Cheapo today, 2-5. We're trying to hit one of these. Appalachian Heights, she knows the drill. Obviously, plenty of play is going to come in on Lightfoot, Mess, Barbosa Factor. Dale Cap, horse has been consistent through and through. She's kind of that grinding type. I didn't throw in, so if you can afford it, go ahead. Leaves you plenty of room with this $12 base ticket. 2-5, 9-11 in race number 3. We stretch it out a little bit more in race 4 with the 4, the 6, and the 7. Rusty's G550 going to get plenty of play. I might get a little more company up front today. Held well last time despite the duel. So I'm going to come back right using him to crush it with Barbosa to sit a trip. Race 5. We wrap it up with the 5 and the 11. It's a match race, right? So there you go. Dave's going to have fun with that one. And $12 for your early pick 4.
A nice $12 ticket. Starting in race number 2, where you have the 2 and 5 on your ticket, and with the 5 on top, she knows the drill for Derek Param. Yomar Ortiz coming in 8-1. That's going to shorten up by the time we get the gates open on this one. 2 for 6 on wet dirt.
Yeah, how much moisture's in there? I mean, there's some. You said it. But we might get the fast later in the card. We'll see if the little breeze kicks up, the sun stays shining. But I was impressed. Now, granted, the last 2 races, the speed was pretty good at Parks, and at Monmouth kind of went back a little bit of stats raceline stuff there for Equibase, but was wide every step of the way last time and really held well. Callie, I don't see an abundance of speed. I'd like to see Ortiz get aggressive here at this 1-turn mile, maybe able to clear and drop over in rate. Appalachian Heights, a big run last time out at Timonium. We've got a video of her effort where she just buried Targe and had plenty left in reserve. Just takes the tracking position, Appalachian Heights, and says, we're going to go right on by here, hitting to the top of the stretch. Laurel Glasser does a good job. She settles their horses nicely. They bring a finish. And Appalachian Heights, I like this. She's hot right now. This horse gets the condition again. This is the 4 in life. Yep. So making that steady progression you do for the connections. I like this. Look at her to the wire. Tarj has come back, has turned into a different horse.
Yes.
Off the barn change. She's just run off the charts of late. Had a win the other day with a big fix. So that helps that factor. I don't know if Appalachian Heights beat that charge of late, right? But it's still a very good effort. I like her here. I think you've got to use Lightfoot Miss, kind of that grinding style to complete. 8's a sneaky kind of a price. You don't have her in there. Callie Ravenel has run some good efforts over this racetrack. I like the wake-up call from the Delaware chart callers last time. Restrained, no threat. So kind of just a rate back. Maybe didn't like the surface. Good efforts. Outer post, has positional speed. I think could be a pace factor in here. 5-2-7-8.
5-2-7-8, I think, is absolutely going to be a pace factor indeed. I'll go ahead and add the 3 Postinos champion. I think this horse is just going to go ahead. This horse is even enough on the sloppy surface going back in June at that Monmouth effort last time out. This horse is just a bit even on this type of surface that he's going to get today. I honestly, with the weight off, I see Claudio Gonzalez sending this horse a little bit and being able to take a little bit of advantage of a bit of a pace, a bit of a pattern change for this one. So taking a chance on the 3, but race number 3 is this maiden claiming 30, taken off of the turf. Now we're on 8 furlongs, the 1-turn mile here on the dirt, and you land on Lunar Ice for Damon DeLovico, Angel Cruz. The barn is on a serious upswing right now.
Pretty good roll, Damon and company. They've done a good job year in and out. They've got a good team, so well-deserved. Lunar Ice hasn't seen the main track in a while. You have to go back to Churchill. This is going to be the first dirt start for Damon. I went back and looked at some of those Churchill races. They were pretty speed favoring. Had some flow. You're going to say, well, this horse should have brought a little bit more punch. Well, she just was kind of against the grain of the racetrack there. Right. Horses came out of those races to win. She had a definite excuse last time on the turf. She's shown the ability to cover the route of ground. I think she's going to move up off the Churchill races. First blinkers on the dirt, that's a help for me as well. So Lunar Ice kind of somewhere from mid-pack today.
Mid-pack, and that's where I have him fitted. I go with the number 1, and you have just underneath Nibbles for Anthony Ferrier, William Humphrey. This one, I'm taking a look at that 1-turn mile on the off-going in that maiden. There was a little bit of combustion, a little bit of there was something happened in that last 16th where I thought could have gotten a better finish last time out. So I think he's going to get a really nice trip with William Humphrey. Well, I think William Humphrey is going to give this horse a nice, neat, and tidy ride and a strong ride. And I think that's what Nibbles is going to get today.
Okay, I'll throw in the 11. Holy Berries comes in off the AEs for Claudio, thanks to a few scratches and this being transferred over to the main track. Hasn't tried the dirt yet, but looked at the family, the lone sib. Ran around. I think Hugh McMahon might have trade that horse. 19 of 35 in the money, a couple wins, and did run well at this mile distance over this racetrack. Holy Bosses can handle the dirt, no issues there. And the 3 Fashionista kind of, I think this is the right move. Hopefully they got transition back. She was going to be a big price on the turf. Main track has a shot, has some positional speed, and can stay around against this group. So there's a little bit of a long shot play to throw in your exactus tries and supers.
I had that horse underneath, so I like you fitting in Fashionista. Just with a couple with Holly Berries coming in, that's where I mixed up the 11 and the 3. I also included, as you mentioned, Sullivan Street. That horse I think will be okay on this type of surface today. Just taking a shot that this horse is in good form and seeing if we can just roll with it here on and off a track. But race number 4 starts. The Rainbow Pick 6, and I've got a quick ticket, another El Cheapo ticket lined up for you. I go a little bit wide, go 1-5-6 in this race, and race number 5, that's my first single. I didn't intend, in fact, before any of these scratches, I didn't have any singles on my tickets here, Keith, but I go ahead and single in on the number 5. In that race number 6, it's a claiming 10,000, 7 furlongs on and off track. You got to go wide in that race. There are a couple of these horses, while the 8, the 12, and 8, 9, and 12, while they haven't won on and off going, they have been able seconds, thirds. So might just if we can, we're on our way to a cheap ticket anyway. Throw it in there. Race number 3, race number 7, excuse me. I single in on the 3. MTO coming off, and then I really feel like that race number 9 is a nice competitive race. I like race number 8, Charming Way. That's my top selection in that race. I just add the 6 and the 8 just to be polite, but race number 9, again, I go a little bit wider in that race. There's some nice horses that enjoy the off-going. A $43.20 ticket for this scrappy Thursday that we've got going on. But race number 4 is this allowance intended on the dirt, so we stick to the mile and 16th on the dirt here today. Keith, you go with the number 4, Crush It, for Hugh McMahon and J-Ron Barbosa. J-Ron Barbosa riding hot.
Yeah, freshened up a couple months off of that big race at Penn, and I think he does fit okay. He's run some all right races at Laurel in the past. We see sometimes these horses that they run well at Penn. They just can't bring that form here. They're comfortable up there. Maybe this will be the case for Crush It. I don't know. But he won kind of comfortably. The third-place finisher has come back to run well. Most recently, a 76, I think, running third or fourth, and a starter at Pimlico. A pretty good try there from Colonel Morad. Keys up against some old kind of good starter horses. Starter horses to me and first level allowances,
Sure.
there's not a whole lot of difference there. So maybe Crush It to try to track just off the pace. I think Rusty's G550 goes. I think 7 on the Rocks, you're going to see a little bit more speed out of him today. Took a rating kind of trip last time out. I expected him to be a little closer, but he held better than I thought. So going second route, he could be poised for a big effort, maybe even a slight improve off of that number because it wasn't really kind of any kind of gaudy number. So Crush It. Rusty G550, we have a video, right, of that last race. Yeah, here we go. And ran right along, got tied up in a duel with Pharaoh's Triumph, who was the other key main speed competitor there that afternoon. And these two just kind of went at it. Rusty G550 gets the better, shakes clear here a little bit, and holds off a very consistent type of horses running good numbers for Ness Sage, who is a little bit of price, a little lower price. Yeah, this horse kind of wandered. We've seen Rusty G550 do this in the past, left, right, all over the map. But stays on that left lead, holds gamely. You're going to see the tactics again. I think he's going to try to get out there, secure the inside, handle that pace pressure. Let's see if Crush It can kind of run them down from just off the pace.
Just off the pace. I like that. I included the number 5 Golden Eyes underneath. You have Blofeld, who's 44% with his second-time routers. He doesn't have a lot of starters out there,
sample, right?
Not a strong sample, but 4 for 9, winning. Second-time routing, that's not bad. I like this horse. I'm going to go ahead and give this horse a try. In the past, I would have said, I'm not sure about this horse, but I feel like this horse has had enough time where he's had enough time to mature. Go ahead, get a little bit of a price of it at 6 to 1. Race number 5 is this Claiming 16 here, 5.5. Originally intended for the turf, but now we're on the dirt for the girls at Never Win 2. And this is a match race. We just got a recent scratch. It was a three-way shake, but we did get the recent scratch with Walks Like a Lady in the 4. So we have Icy Reply and Majora Miga for Marco Salazar with the price.
All right. 5 looks a little faster than the 11 early. She should get to the front if she doesn't have any hiccups out of the gate. And there you go. I'll say Icy Reply maybe goes wire to wire in the 5th.
Wire.
Unfortunately, down to a match race. We don't like that.
Down to a match race.
They're fun, but from a betting standpoint, handling standpoint, we don't want any of that. So
well, with the number 11,
let the horses run.
Here's the thing: the number 11 just doesn't take to the mud at all. So I was curious on that, but we'll be right back for the rest of the card, starting in race 6. But we'll be right back and see you soon. Back for this Claiming 10 Never Win 2, 7 furlongs on the dirt. This is where I go 6 wide. Could have gone 7 wide in my pick 6 ticket, but we both end up landing on the number 4. Brown Delivers for Mikey Juralis, J-Ron Barbosa. This is a Mikey Juralis route to sprint, and winning 2 in a row. He's not half bad at that either.
Yeah, this barn, not a huge barn, but they steadily, year in and year out, hit at a high clip. Mike does a good job here teaming up with Robert Bone, Edward Brown Jr. He's got some horses with Lapidus. You'll see one later that's going to be an awfully short price in Acadian
Yep.
Girl. This race gave me fits, and Brown Delivers making its first start. It's 7/8. Thankfully, it's 7/6. I'd be a little bit worried, but 7/8. I think he's got enough to stay within some semblance of range. I mean, maybe he's going to be 5 or 6 out of it, leaving the 3/8, but they're going to be flying early in here. Centilio likes to go. Raise the Spites might be the speed of the speed on the jam job here for Kieran. Is going to want to go out there if he can shake clear. This is kind of the move here, desperation. Let's get a win. But I think he's going to have some company. I don't think I'm That Slow was close enough, but a couple of these horses will keep Raise the Spites honest. Brown Delivers another one. He's going to have to make that steady progression. I don't think he's going to bring a sharp run. It'll be a steady, methodical move along with Uncommon Valor. There's my buddy Uncommon Valor. Likes to find trouble, but gets the setup. Bet on bits for Dale. That was an interesting move back up. Claim for 16.5 to 20, then down to 5. Ran okay, but a good jump up in Figs last time out. Much better effort visually as well behind a horse that was on a bit of a roll, Amicalola Fall. So bet on bits. He'll have first run over my horse. I know that. He's definitely got more positional speed than Brown Delivers.
On top of that, Dale's horses that ran at Pimlico are running well here at Laurel. 15 entry sample, but 4 wins, 3 seconds, a third. That's 27% from Pimlico to Laurel. So I probably should have put Dale up a little bit up further there. But race number 7 is this allowance, originally taken off of the turf, but now we're a mile here on the dirt for the girls. We both land on your MTO coming in that for Mikey Juralis and Mark Lapidus. Acadian Girl was Jana Vello, continuing that forward move of just taking it to the lead.
Mark's made comments to me about this filly. He's like, I don't know how really good she is, but we've been lucky with some of the spots and we've been able to kind of get into. And you need that. You need luck in this game, no doubt about it. But they've done a really good job with this filly since being claimed. We're going to second off of a break, was able to dominate at Timonium. She's the controlling speed again.
She's controlling the race.
As long as there's no hiccup, I said, out of the gate, I think it's her race to lose. She should be able to control this from start to finish. But, you need luck, Callie, as an owner. The game's so hard. I was over at the sale the other day. You see everybody, the hopes and the dream. You're trying to get something. And it's a lot of work. A lot of people never make it to the winner's circle. So these trainers that are here day in and day out, pouring their heart and souls in it, the owner, all their monies and finances, I mean, you got to give it to them because it's a grind. And the ones that kind of rise to the top, boy, they've done some special work to get there.
Exactly. So much can happen from those sales to that first start, let alone getting in the winner's circle. A lot of factors have to go right. So hopefully that is going to continue a lot of things going right for Mikey and Mark. But race number 8 is this allowance, 8 furlongs on the dirt. You land on the number 8. I land on the number 7. But let's talk about the number 8 first.
Okay.
With Marvelous for Carlos Mancia, Georgie Ruiz. I like this selection at a bit of a price.
Yeah, this is a little bit of a price play out of the realm. We talked about it. Starter allowance horses, I think they kind of relate. They compare right along with this first level allowance condition. Marvelous, she may have to run just a tick faster, but I think she's going to get a little bit of flow inside. Tweet Away Robin, perfect from the rail. Even Sophia's Secret might show a little bit more back on a faster main track. Caught the sloppy sealed surface last time, but Marvelous, you see right there, keys up against Acadian Girl. Yes, was well beaten in there, but had no flow in front of her. Gets it a little bit today, likes this distance, likes this racetrack. I think a steady progression into it might pull an upset. My price user today in your exactest tries and supers. Charming Way, we have a video of her, correct?
Yes.
I think she could be a slight favorite in here. You want to get 3 or 4 to 1 in this race, and she's just had some really tough luck. Here's the race on the 11th. Pinch back at the break on that sloppy seal surface. Couple horses coming out of there and never really picked it up. Her 2 back try was very good. Sat off of it, a couple lengths out of it, slower pace. Didn't really have to get ass till the 8th pole. You should have plenty left after walking 25, 49, picking it up to 13. So she's shown glimpses of pretty good talent. The key is the break for her. She has some trouble sometimes out of the gate. I'll go 8-7-6 Sophia Secret. I'm looking for a better effort. Glow City, a horse Robin likes. Dave will be on here Saturday and Sunday with you. that sprint much too fast, not to her liking, but still trying. I thought even beating 10 lengths still gave effort. This isn't one that can draft into position this one-turn mile to just save ground every step of the way. She's going to need that and just bring that punch late.
Yeah, she's been 100% in the money with this distance. She just needs a win, and I feel like that just needs a little bit of luck, just a little bit of thinking on the rider's part. So we'll see what happens with Angel Cruz on the number 2. But Charming Way, just as you mentioned, a ton of bad luck. I think that was that last effort back out again. You mentioned they went a bit slow. It's hard, and that was a sloppy one as well. It's when they go, especially when you have ones that are going at a bit of a slow pace in front on a wet track. It's hard for horses to come in from behind to kind of make a move on that. I think Toledo essentially saved this filly for a little bit of a better day just because she got pinched so hard. So I'm still referring back to that 9th of April effort on a good surface. She got dogged on the rail. She was trying to make a rail move, and she was gutsy. So I think I wouldn't be so concerned about that 10-11 length distance off. But let's get to our nightcap. Race number 9, maiden claiming 45 for the girls, 5.5 on the dirt as intended. You land on the number 10, Misty's Last. Ronnie Jenkins off of the layoff, but Victor Carrasco putting in some nice works on this filly, gearing up to this run on a surface that she's okay with.
Yeah, no doubt. She ran well back at 2, ran an okay number into Spicy Margarita, who's since come back and matured and run much faster and run some big efforts in the allowance conditions. A little bit of that after that, another Brittany Russell horse. So the fact that she ran well in debut, she's getting first-time Lasix. Ronnie doesn't run a whole lot of horses anymore. What a really good percentage last year, right, about 27%. I think she'll be ready. She's got enough speed. Maybe Ladra Ficci's probably going to go ahead and go smart Yuli inside, but she ran against the right kind. I think she's going to come back fresh, ready to go, a little steady work pattern to go here and sit just off of it and maybe pounce around the turn.
Bounce around the turn. And then we've got the Brittany Russell horse coming back to the preferred distance of the 5.5. It's so easy to reference that Saratoga run second time out on the muddy surface. Gutsy go with Manny Franco on top.
Yeah, that one to me looks like an all or nothing type. If she's ready to roll, you kind of look at who she's kind of running against. And you see that glaring 71. She's in for the tag. We'll see. That one gave me a short. I like kind of the other Brittany with a bullet coming into here out of that race with Misty's Last. Took plenty of play. Wasn't living up quite to the expectations I thought, but given time to regroup, she's one with the first-time Lasix. Could definitely rally into this.
Brittany Russell recently 42% with that first-time Lasix. And that's a nice little night card wrap up. But let's talk about a couple of talking points that happened over the weekend here in the lightning round. Malibu Beauty picked up her 3rd career stakes win on Saturday, taking the George Rosenberger Memorial Stakes by 8 lengths, giving jockey Michael Sanchez a major career milestone at that same time. Slow and Steady has a 2-year-old cross filly traffic filly named Fast Track. Sold for $120 at Fasig-Tipton. That one's working, but Slow and Steady didn't have a full report for 2022. She's bred back to Great Notion. Slow and Steady, the Dam of Maryland bred juvenile champion Steady Warrior, stakes winner Steady in Love, and stakes placed Lucky in Malibu. Hanky Doodle, Who Dat Boy. Oh, yeah. There's just a wonderful family that Malibu Beauty shares. And with that saying, the Fasig-Tipton, as you mentioned, sale happened this early Monday and Tuesday. They produced, let's see, Fasig-Tipton reported 386 yearlings sold over the 2-day sale for gross of $10,266,400. So at the last year, it was 381 last year. So interesting, just a nice, you mentioned you were there yesterday. I didn't partake this past week, but a lot of action. And that's where the hopes and dreams really, really start, is these yearling sales.
I like going to see the people that actually have some money, you know. We just sit there and watch. and just try to look and guess a little bit of what some of these horses are going to go for. But no, 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 it was good to see. Unfortunately, the elements were just brutal for everybody involved with that rain. It just would not
Right.
go away. But they got through it. Yeah, a couple cool yearlings out there. Some ones that went for some
The top one
pretty
was an
good
Uncle
coin.
Mo for
Yeah, yep,
320.
yep,
So
yep.
a nice Maryland bred by Uncle Mo for 320. So we'll see what that one comes up with. But Keith Fusel, we've got your best bet and value play that we got to talk about still.
Yeah, it was a little tough to get through everything. Well, we're going to have to wait till the last with Misty's last. Maybe a get-out horse, we'll call it. Not the best bet, but the get-out horse and Misty's last off the break here for Rodney Jenkins. Price play, Mavelis.
There we go.
Yeah, Mavelis in that A other than stepping out of the starter allowance ranks. But I think it's a step sideways for her
Right.
class-wise, and I think she'll make a run from off the pace and hopefully get up in time because that's kind of going to be her style, I think, if she's going to win this one. A little bit of a grinding run, and we'll use her in exactas, tries, and super. But tricky little card. We had to deal with all of these scratches. Thanks for bearing with us again off the turf tomorrow as well, so get your chance to get ahead of the handicapping
Yep.
and kind of maybe toss the turfs out and concentrate on those main track runners.
Let's see what we can come up with for this Scrappy Thursday and soon to be Scrappy Friday. We can still have some fun here with some prices on the offgoing here at Laurel. Let's check in with Dave Rodman for changes and scratches.
All right, good luck.